Don't just take their money and run like a Butterbar lieutenant lost on a land nav course. Are you finally ready to plant your flag and claim your territory? Maybe it's time to use that VA loan to buy a home. Or hell, maybe you're looking to refinance and put some extra cash in your pocket for more questionable life decisions. Either way, the Veterans Mortgage Source, powered by Canopy Mortgage, has your six. Look, buying a home or refinancing can feel like getting overrun on a bad op. Chaotic, confusing, and full of obstacles that make no damn sense. That's where Corey and his team come in. They're like the QRF of home loans, ready to pull you out of the chaos and guide you to the best program for you. And trust me, they'll answer all your questions. Yeah, even the dumb ones. Whether you're a salty vet or fresh out of barracks still trying to figure out where your TA-50 went. Great service, solid rates, and a team that actually understands the military life. That's why all of us here at Veteran Trash Talk trust them to do right by every veteran in their family. Ready to lock it in? Give Corey a call or shoot him a text at 808-699-7874. That's 808-699-7874. Don't wait. Unless you like overpaying and getting treated like an FNG. The Veterans Mortgage Source is powered by Canopy Mortgage, LLC. All loans are subject to credit and property approval.
Hey, what's up, Trash Talkers? Listen, it's impossible to fight, okay, if you don't know what you're fighting for. Does that make sense? Like, if you're in the dumps and you're struggling with mental health, things of that nature, it's going to continue tearing you down, all right? Because you're consistently trying to fight something, which is that demon, which is usually something from the past, right? Maybe that why needs to be fighting for your future. Let that be your why. Get the hell up and start fighting for your future. Stop fighting things that happened in the past. Easier said than done, right? Go seek help. It's okay not to be okay. A lot of people need to hear this. You are more of a warrior and a fighter if you stand up and say, hey, this has to stop. I need to go seek help. The stigma, everything has changed. It's okay not to be okay.
And so my honesty cap is dedicated to a little, we'll call it a public service announcement for civilians and other people in the military. There are a few people that you should always take their stories with a grain of salt. Vegans, CrossFitters, and special operations guys that tell you that they were special operations without being prompted. The first thing they say is, yeah, I used to be soft. Right. The only unicorn in that entire group is like a special operations guy that was like a vegan and did CrossFit. That guy's probably going to stay quiet for a little bit longer because he's confused as what he should talk about first. That's the only reason. Right. Anybody that says that they were soft without being prompted or without it being like a normal part of your communications is probably either an enabler or going to tell you a bunch of stuff that's not exactly true.
What's up, Trash Talkers? What's up, Gruntworks Nation? Big Earl. You heard Dave talk. You heard Buddy talk. Now, Buddy's all about, he is a Green Beret and he's Special Forces and yada, yada, yada. But he will not tell you that unless, he really, really likes you and he's made dinner for you. However, what Veteran Trash Talk does is we bring a lot of light to the veteran community, the first responder community. We promote that what we're doing well, all right, whether we're running for office, we started a business, nonprofit, all those things. Veteran Trash Talk is a super clean page. We got Gruntworks if you want to go there and raise a little hell a little bit, but we are here to promote veteran-owned businesses. So the show you are about to watch is a veteran or veterans or a spouse of a veteran or a child of a veteran that's doing great things in the community, and we need your help promoting them and getting them all the success that they need. All right, guys, enjoy the show.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
What's up, Trash Talkers? What is up, Gruntworks Nation? Welcome to Season 3, Episode 11 of the Trash Talk Hour. Special guest today is retired Command Sergeant Major TJ Baird, who will be promoting his upcoming book, Warrior Dad. And joining me today are the Big Earl and Buddy's gone. So just the two of us. There he is. Hey, what's up?
We're trying to bring him on. We're trying. I think Chris might. I think Chris might be controlling it from his phone, backing him off. We're going to take him back off again. We don't know what he's doing. Yeah, Buddy's a wild card. Never know what's going to happen. But happy to be here. Early start for us on Saturday, which is good. Good.
I prefer this start, honestly. Well, you as well, being in California. I'm in Arizona, so it's not in the middle of the day. Usually we start at 3, or 2. So this is better.
Right. Well, usually my girls have cross country early Saturdays, so it's thankfully they ran their state quarterfinal yesterday, so that was good. And they were not ranked very high, but they beat most of the ranked teams, so they are going to the semifinals. Nice. What happens when you're the underdog and you got 2 tall gazelle daughters that have been doing military movement drills since they were 5. All right, they can run. They know what they're doing. Yeah. So raised by a paratrooper.
They've been doing some PRT, right?
Mm-hmm. Nobody does the bend and reach. Well, they did. All right.
They did. Look at them now. Look at them now.
Yeah. I'm not doing that stupid stuff, Dad. I have soldiers say the same thing, and look at them now. So Henry McDonald, new guy checking. What's up, Henry? Thanks for chiming in. We got Monica saying hi. That's VTT's OE254 cable, otherwise the commander of the Hollywood Legion Post, number 43. She just made local news. She's on downtown LA news about being the commander and how they're helping veterans with mental health and all that good
Doing
stuff.
All kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah, great job, Monica. Great job. Yeah, we always knew there was something good about you. That's why we brought you on a team a long time ago. Just glad that you're coming out of your shell. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But anyhow, let's kick this show off with a conspiracy. Have you guys heard of? So there's this pilot back in 1979. His name is Rafael Pacheco, and he was in Mexico, brand new pilot. And it was his first solo session where he was able to fly. And apparently his aircraft was taken over by aliens. So I don't know if there's much to this, but I saw this on the Sean Ryan show. It's this SF guy that does a bunch of conspiracies. I forgot his name. He's on YouTube. He has his own channel. But he talks about it, and we're going to cover it, and then we'll discuss it amongst us if it's BS or we actually have
channel too. It doesn't mean anything. So
yeah.
We're gonna play it, buddy. Are you able to watch this, buddy? Does Buddy even know he's on camera?
I don't know. Let's try it. Let's do it. Let's do it live. Let's go live.
Yeah, we're going live. We're going hot.
The pilot is speaking, but not of his own free will. We are using him as a microphone. There's this 23-year-old kid named Rafael Perez, and he's out of this airport in Chimalacán, Mexico. And this kid, he's going to fly on his own for the first time. So he takes off at 9:15 a.m. And right away, he notices that it's very foggy. So he really has not really a good sense of where he is. He can't quite find the airport. And so he tries calling in with a radio. He doesn't really hear back from them. It's sort of garbled static. So he takes the yoke and he tries to bank the airplane left. But the airplane doesn't go left. It just continues flying in a straight line. The plane begins to climb, and he's not making the plane climb. The plane is climbing on its own. There was like this huge cloud that he was basically flying into. He can't see anything, and he passes out. He wakes up in the cockpit, has no idea how long he's been asleep for, but he's immediately shocked that, holy cow, I did not crash the plane. He also looks out the window, and there's no more mist or fog. It's actually just the open ocean underneath him. And he looks at his clock and it says 11:30. Took off at 9:15. It's below 3 hours. The amount of time that has transpired that apparently I was asleep for is not enough time for me to arrive over any body of water. In addition to that, he looks at his gas gauge and it's at 3/4 tank. And he knew that not only is that way too high, but he wouldn't have had enough gas to reach any water body. And as he's coming to like, what's happening here? Somebody chimes in over the radio and goes, hey, are you there? And he grabs his radio and he's like, hey, I fell asleep in my plane. I don't know where I am. And the guy on the other end, he's like, hey, this is Carlos. Are you alone in your airplane? And Raphael's like, of course I'm alone. Where am I? And Carlos is like, listen, you're just off the coast of Acapulco. And for the last hour, you've been flying out over the water. He arrived off the coast of Acapulco now an hour earlier. It takes 3 hours to get there. He apparently did it in about an hour and 15 minutes. He lands at the airport in Acapulco. And as soon as he gets off, there's these people in suits that are there to meet him. And they immediately take him and they drive him to a hospital. They drug test him. He's not on drugs. And they also have a psychologist come in and they give him a profile, make sure he's sane. And she determines that he is. And so finally they say, okay, we're going to tell you what happened. When you showed up off the coast of Acapulco, you showed up on the radar screen of who you were talking to. And he talked to you for an hour while you were out over the water, and it was recorded. And I'm going to read to you the first thing that Raphael said to Carlos. The pilot is speaking, but not of his own free will. We are using him as a microphone. Your equipment is too primitive. It is not important who we are or where we come from, only that we are inhabitants of the same universe. For the next 30 to 45 minutes, the voice being projected through Raphael talked about humanity as the only intelligent species in the entire universe that uses warfare and conducts violence on each other, and you are poised for a nuclear holocaust, and you may be exterminated if this continues. And then at about 11:30, Raphael wakes up. No one has any idea how Raphael wound up over the coast, and the Mexican government quickly took this story, buried it, and now you can only access it in this obscure library in Mexico.
Yeah, so of course I asked my friend ChatGPT and I did some more research on this and it's accurate. Like the documents are there. Like it's not like it supposedly happened. I don't know. I'm gonna go all in and say, yeah, this happened. This happened 100%. Like, I don't know, ChatGPT says it, so it's true, right? That's obviously sarcasm. But they said it's archived and you can look up these documents, and there's all kinds of people like in the flight industry, like air traffic control, all these people that are saying, yeah, like it didn't make sense how that plane was able to appear in a location where A, it didn't have enough fuel to get there, and B, like the amount of time that it took for it to get there would have not been possible. So unless it's some crazy like government conspiracy to pull that off and then be able to tell like a random story, that just wouldn't make sense. So I'm going to go with yes, it happened. TJ, what are your thoughts on this, man?
I'm going to go with it did not happen. He was on his first flight, stressed out, passed out, and had no idea what was going on. Probably was mumbling the entire time on the radio. That is my take on it. There's no way, dude.
Fair enough.
And I'm going to go with ChatGPT, man. It's everything on the internet's true. Everything.
There you go. You see it on the internet. If you didn't see it on the internet, it didn't happen, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Buddy, what you got, man? What you got?
Well, hopefully it'll go through what I've got.
We got you loud and clear.
Good so far.
I would say, so logically, first of all, if he was just flying by himself for the first time and it was foggy, he's already wrong because he's not instrument rated. So that's weird. But if it's in the fog and he pulled up and got too high and got hypoxic and then just started mumbling, but then got like
dang, I bet you that was really good.
Well, the aliens got him.
The aliens
got him.
The aliens got him.
He was about to tell the truth, and he just got
right. Our story.
They zapped him.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get him back.
You want to keep the message alive. What you got, Nick?
Yeah. So there's a lot to unpack
real quick before you go. I just think it's really fascinating, like how he appeared from one location to the other. Right. That's like, to me, that's the biggest one. Maybe not even people talking to him, but how he was able to get from point A to point B, even though he A, didn't have enough gas, and B, like he did it in a much shorter amount of time. Yeah. Yeah.
So, buddy,
buddy.
Yeah, we're gonna knock this guy off.
It's the aliens talking right now. It's the aliens talking right now.
Yeah. But no, well, Monica says if vegans and ChatGPT say yes, then it's probably a pretty good deal. And Megan says if aliens were connected about us exterminating ourselves with nuclear warfare, could they just shut down our nukes? Like, why are they warning us?
Well, there are a lot of UAP sightings over nuclear facilities.
Yeah. Well, so there's a lot to unpack here. Where did he take off from again?
In Mexico somewhere. This is 1978.
Right. So this kind of debunks Buddy's point about instrument stuff, because that's like a federal regulation. But if he's in Mexico, we all know anything goes down in Mexico that you want. Right. So it is possible he just takes off whenever he wants to and does whatever he wants. If he has enough money. Right. But also what I don't understand is, you land in Mexico. Who are these people in suits? And then they drug test you? Why would they drug test you in Mexico in the 70s? Like, wasn't that the whole point? They go down to Mexico is to get all fucked up, right? So, I mean,
they got to make sure he's good. He's Usually that's our answer to a lot of the conspiracies. That dude was just drugged up, talking shit.
Yeah, I think this comes from. I think this is 100% false. I think this comes from the same type of people who start the wildfire and then claim global warming. So I think this is somebody who's making a story up to stop us from nuclear, fallout. And so he's like, hey, aliens are warning us. Again, I don't know when this story started becoming popular again, but they've already told us. Okay, so aliens told us the government told us aliens existed and nobody cared. So I don't think we're going to care if what they have to say either. So it's like,
so you think it's just a big conspiracy? Like all these people were involved in it?
Yeah, but there's the only reason why I don't think it's really a conspiracy is because there's what's the point? Like, I'm always like, there's got to be money involved somehow, or like there's got to be something to gain.
And there's no book or anything yet.
Yeah, and then it was before reels were going viral in 2005.
I haven't seen him appear on Joe Rogan yet, so I don't know. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't. Yeah, I got to go. Like the aliens, I got to rationalize with Megan here. If the aliens were, if they were about this, they could just stop it. Like, what are they worried about us for?
Yeah.
So
there's conspiracies around that they want us to become part of the Intergalactic Federation, and so they want us to start acting normal, and that we're the only ones in the universe that are just still killing each other and acting like animals, and are like, you humans need to get it right. That's a conspiracy. I kind of believe in that, but
I'm just saying our guests soon might have some insider info on this in the next coming up. I'm just saying.
I would love to. Yeah, TJ, what's your
might have to bring him back on in 6 months and revisit this.
Oh my god! Hey man, I'm still in trophy husband mode, man. I am out and done of the army.
I'm talking about I'm talking about the better half's new position.
Oh yeah, well her new position. Yeah, she'll when goes on at work, stay at work.
Yeah, I'm just saying it might have some insider info for sale. We're going to call Seth Ryan, whatever his name is.
No.
Call Sean Ryan and be like, we got somebody for you, seeing as he steals all of our guests anyways.
My dog, and I'll get beamed up and hopefully by the very gentle aliens, sit down and have coffee kind of aliens, not the probing, unfortunate kind of aliens. That would not be that'd be terrible.
That would be terrifying. Yeah.
Oh, well, anyway. Hey, chime on in, say hi where you're watching from. We got a few watchers on the X Factor right now. Appreciate that. YouTube, I'm not showing anybody there, but we're not tracking that right now. So if you're on YouTube, give us a like and a share. We are shadow banned there because we cuss too much and talk about stuff like this. And I guess you got to be like, who's that, Mr. Beast or whatever? You just got to go handing out money to be popular on YouTube. That guy's pretty legit. I think he is pretty legit.
He's amazing, dude.
Yeah. I think they said he just started his own airline or something like that, for whatever.
He's insane, dude. And he lives real moderate, real chill, in an apartment or whatever. But he's he makes billions. That dude is.
And he gives a lot out too. He donates a lot for really good cause. So it's very impressive. He makes a lot, gives a lot. That is, man.
Yep.
Keep doing it, brother.
North Carolina boy, right? Or South Carolina? Yeah. North Carolina, South Carolina? Or am I wrong? Yeah.
My daughters probably know. I have to yell at them. Kayla, you downstairs? No, not her. She'll know. But Yeah. Hey, I guess I can go with the Book of Earl. Haven't had one in a while. We had off a couple weeks. We always take off on holiday weekends. I had a blast actually out in North Carolina with TJ golfing in the AUSA Fort Bragg chapter, sponsored by. Got this cool sign. All right, Gruntworks Clothing.
Oh.
All right, they sponsored it. So yeah, I took the sign. No big deal. That being said, go buy our shirts. All right, that way we can be like Mr. Beast and keep giving out more money.
You're wearing my
Only
favorite hoodie
infantry.
right there. Only infantry.
Yeah.
I love that hoodie.
All right, so it's got that going on. But yeah,
The code word
this-
for Nick's OnlyFans, by the way. If nobody caught on to that.
Yeah, it's for if you like feet, go check it out. But again, those of you who haven't heard the Book of Earl, don't understand it. It's pretty much like scripture, right? You should follow it, do everything it says, and then your life will be okay. Like it usually come out ahead, right? Well, bad things happen maybe here and there, but if you just pay, because again, most of it comes from all my shortcomings. And then I talk about it, and then like, oh, I screwed this up, and this like our number one shirt, which I'm wearing under this big promo here, quit being a triggered pansy, right? That's chapter 1, verse 1 in the Book of Earl, and that comes from me. I was a triggered pansy today like twice, right? You just got to stop, right? You just got to let it go. But I'm getting off topic here, which I tend to do. But this one comes from chapter 7, verse 14. All right, when you open it up, it says, "Thou must go get free stuff on Veterans Day." All right, that is a massive thing. And then I did something different this year. I took selfies with people that were at the business that was doing the free stuff. All right, so I went to Denny's. Right, got my Grand Slam in the morning. Then I got my hair cut at Sports Clips. All right, then I went to In-N-Out. Okay, got my free double stack, whatever they're called. I'm new to California, so double stack monster, whatever thing is, monster. I don't know, something like that. Then I went to Red Lobster. Went to Red Lobster, got my shrimp, and fries, and then I went to Lazy Dog. Right, so there we go. We need Chris to like block this guy out. So there you go. Oh, don't want to put it on there. That's for sure. Let's see here. Black user on Facebook.
Show him the shirt again, Nick. Show him the shirt again.
Yeah. Quit being a triggered pansy, Edward. So these people are all doing great things, right? And they're giving out free stuff. Okay, and it's like, go earn it. And now here's what pisses me off. Here's where I got triggered, but I didn't become a pansy. Some of you all became pansies. Was you're like, oh, I don't go out and get free stuff. Like, why not? Right? We're like, oh, my pride doesn't let me. Well, let me tell you something. When I went to Denny's, all right, there was a guy who walked in with an acorn on his hat. All right, from the 25th ID. And he was an older gentleman. And I said, hey, I was a first sergeant in 25th. I was a first sergeant cacti. And he was in Vietnam. All right. And so I was like, hey, welcome home, brother, because that's what we say to our Vietnam vets.
Yes,
and I was like, welcome home. Had a little conversation with him. Okay. And then there was another Navy vet from the Santa Clarita Valley that was eating breakfast, and his wife was there. And he was talking about his whole day, how it's planned, and an older gentleman. Right. And we're having these conversations. We're just having a good time. Right. And you never know this. Go out. All right. Especially as GWAC guys. There's not a lot of us. Right. There's only I think 7% of the generation in the Vietnam era served, and we're at 1.5%, or I think it's 4.5 to 1.5. So there's not a lot of us. We get out there and you share stories with these guys, right? And these ladies, all right? Get out there, all right? Get out there and have a conversation with one of these dudes, right? And I get it. Again, so that's pretty much all I'm going to say about Veterans Day is get out there and celebrate it. All right. Get out there and go have a conversation with an older vet. Go have a conversation with a younger vet. And it's just a real good time. So this is out to you triggered pansies out there that get all mad when I don't do that. Well, okay, hero. All right. I mean, like I said, I don't know what you did in your service, but I guess it was better than mine. It's because you can't even go get a free fucking hamburger. All right. So good job. All right, what do you guys think? What's your take on Veterans Day and free stuff?
So, yeah, I'm all in with that one.
Yeah, it's whatever. But I think the point you hit on is actually talking to guys. Like I make it a point. Like if I'm in Lowe's or Home Depot, or if I'm walking around and I see a guy with a Vietnam hat on, like I make it a point to say, "Hey, man, welcome home," or and they immediately open up because they don't have outlets as much like we do right now, right? They don't have. Some of them are really not on social media. Like it's all boggled in, but the minute they open their mouths, they just won't stop, but it's good for them. So I think that is a very important aspect that you brought up is just take your time out of your day to just like say what's up to them. The free stuff, cool. I didn't go out just because I wasn't feeling it that day, but you know, that's just kind of my take on it.
Yeah, we didn't go out either. Well, for us, we were moving. Our house was full of boxes, and they were inventory and everything. So, and then that was for us. But we were texting back and forth with everybody that we knew that served. Like, hey, happy Veterans Day! This is awesome. Of course, you're just throwing quips out left and right. And yeah, for all the folks out there, enjoy Veterans Day. Get out there for the free stuff. You know what? When you put your life on the line for the country, for 300+ million people, and your job is to be that line. Hey, and we don't get many free stuff. So you have an opportunity to do it, get out there, let people just, hey, like you said, talk to other veterans, and then the community will come and say hi to you too, because it's pretty cool to walk around and folks either know you're in the military, think you might be in the military, say, hey, thanks for what you do, this is great, and you know what, say, hey, it's great, you know what, because and then as a friend of mine told me one day, just say, hey, the best answer that he likes to give is because you all are worth it. I was like, man, that's a great answer to hey, this is why we do it. So yeah, get out there and enjoy your Veterans Day, man. Good Lord. Yeah, get some free food. Stay in those lines.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, that In-N-Out for free, forget about it. Like that line's already halfway around the block when you have to pay for it. And now you get to wait in line for it.
Out here
for
too,
free.
dude. Out here too.
Yeah.
In-N-Out's amazing, bro.
Oh,
It's one of the franchises, like they never changed their price when everybody else went up. They're still the cheapest, but it's also like semi-fresh compared to all the other fast food. In-N-Out.
Well, yeah, they're not. They have to have fresh ingredients. That's why they're not everywhere.
Yep.
If they're not on the supply
Yep.
chain, they're not allowed to build there. Buddy, you
Like
got us. You got.
everybody that works there is like happy.
I got back.
They're all happy.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Did you hear the Veterans Day?
I think I
thing?
pretty much got the gist of it. Here's my thing. Like, if you go to those places on a regular basis and you go in and get free stuff, cool, whatever. But I don't know. For me, it's just I don't like the appendage measuring contest that when you go in where there's a group of people waiting to get free Golden Corral, and then while you're waiting, they're like, "Well, what did you do?" And you're like, "Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to have like what school did you go to, or like I just want to eat my meal and go."
Why not? Why
That's
not?
because you went to all of them, buddy. You would be there for 2 hours if you had to tell.
It's because
you know what? To be honest,
attitude. There it is.
Buddy is
to be
right now
honest,
the definition of projection.
I'd rather talk to a Vietnam vet or something like that about what they did, but when it comes to like what we did or like, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I don't like to sound like I'm bragging about it. Like I didn't do it to
you are.
get
You are.
all the
You
merit
were
badges.
100% bragging about
You
it.
are.
It's a humble brag. I like the humble brag is good. Humble brag is
think
good.
so.
I brag about you sometimes.
I don't
I'm
want
like,
to tell you how many
I know a
stars
soldier
I had
like
on
Buddy,
everything,
a close
but
friend
I
of
was
mine.
pretty
He's
much
been
an
to
expert
every
of
school
every
in the
school.
military. So
Yeah, but I'll talk about you guys, but I don't like talking about myself. You know what I mean? It's not like I walk in and I'm like, hey, look at all my merit badges, everybody. Like it's just like
Well, it's like when Dave's drunk and
as the kids say, when you do that, you're doing too much. You know what I mean? Like you're just doing too much.
it's like when Dave's drunk and he's hanging out with Bill, right? You know, like he can't introduce him as Bill, or this is my friend Bill. This is the guy who stabbed somebody with a knife, right? That's how he introduces Bill. It's like,
where did that happen?
Oh, at your
Was that when
retirement
we were at
party.
the bar? Maybe.
At your retirement party. Yeah. So,
Dave, I don't know if you know this, but when you've
is my friend
when
Bill.
you've been overserved, you say some pretty wild things. The pretty interesting stuff comes out of your mouth after about three friggin' Smirnoffs and Red Bulls.
I love you guys, man. It's because I love you guys. It's all good.
Oh man.
We all have our moments.
Yeah, I got off track now with that one with Bill but yeah, the Veterans Day thing, I love it. You know, you just get to go out and have a good time and talk to people. Just like, why not? And and I get it. If you're like, I guess if you're like near like a military base, it probably gets a little weird. But this was like really my first one not near a military base, and so it was a lot of fun. Like it was cool to kind of see.
I think you probably just hit the nail on the head for me. Like I've always lived near a military base,
and you're still
so
interacting with soldiers every day too. Like for work and
So like when you but if you live near a military base and you go in, you see the same dudes, and the Golden Corral has just become a chow hall. It's like, okay, whatever. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Golden Corral's become a chow hall.
I'll tell you what, it was before Veterans Day, but I was going through South Dakota. I was at this little cafe with my dog, and just chatting with folks there, and they asked me just some questions. Whatever. Oh yeah, I was in the military for a long time, and going to find out this young lady there, her husband was started in the 82nd, the same time frame I was there, different units and everything. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And so it kind of gets back into your Veterans Day thing, especially when you're not around a military post, because it's a really small world, and you may find someone who is either connected with you, either tangentially through like a spouse, whatever, or they served in the same spot you did, and also you get to talk some fun stories and stuff like that. So I think that part's pretty cool. But I get it. When you're around, like I'm right outside of Fort Bragg right here, and it's soldiers all the time, which is pretty cool. But I think when you're away from the post and you actually get to see, like I would say, like the regular U.S. Non-military folks, I think it's a lot different because then they're super curious about what we do in the military, and you can maybe break some myths and everything else like that, and maybe be a good recruiter for somebody who might want to join the Army or whatever military service. Yeah, I agree. Like away from it's a lot better.
A steward of the profession. I think that was I think that's a sergeant major thing right there for shizzle.
Steward.
I do like to make sure. I do like to channel Dave on Veterans Day and start all of my conversations with "as a veteran."
So that is a massive trigger of mine, and I wish I would like to give Dave enough credit that he does it on purpose, but he just does it.
Well, I never do that. I don't even tell people that I served.
As a veteron,
I don't even tell people that I served. You are hitting on one video that I did.
That's all we need is one video.
No, but there's no truth to it. There's no truth to it.
There's 10% truth to it. You made a video.
Let's clear this up on air. I spoke about the what was going on with Iran and that we were bombing Iran. And I did a TikTok video which went pretty viral. I'm just saying. And I didn't say as a veteran. I spoke about my experiences, and now that I can actually openly speak about it because I'm retired. I know that as a veteran bullshit. I don't.
You put on your uniform.
I didn't even meet people and tell them I was in the military, dude. Like brand new
flag going in the background. Like, yeah.
I did not.
But hey, here's a fun game. Here's a fun game to do. If you go to a lot of sporting events, this is what I like to do. And I got reminded of this because our friend JC Glick just got honored as veteran of the game at the Washington Commanders game. And he's been on the show a few times, the TED Talker, the motivator, the heartthrob of VTT, as the ladies call him. But, try this when they do the veteran game, because I was the veteran of the game at Dodger Stadium, which is real cool. I mean, they have like 60,000 people stand up and cheer is pretty legit, right? And, it's a lot of fun. However, do this on the other side. If you're sitting in the stands and they're like recognizing a National Guard person, boo. Right? Especially if you're with a couple other veterans. It's a lot of fun. Right? I did this at a Packer game one time. They had like the Wisconsin Air National Guard, like air refueling wing, right? And they're recognizing them. I'm going, boo, right? These guys throw, hey, you show some respect. And I'm like, what? It's not like they're doing anything. They're up there refueling airplanes, and it's like.
That's messed up.
But now, so my
I'll check out our Weekend Warrior shirts. We have a couple awesome ones,
It's a
Saving
lot of fun to
America
do that
one
because it
weekend a
opens up the
month.
conversation. Like I just like, no, I'm just joking, man. I'm just messing.
Yeah.
Like it's I can tell you what his MOS is. I can tell you what he did. I like then he stand up and clap, whatever. But like it's a fun thing to do. You just gotta make sure you have a group with you because if you piss off the squad in front of you, right, you just make sure there's a few guys with you.
Yeah,
And then the other one was at the World Series. It was a World War II veteran. You know what you don't boo? It's those guys, right?
yeah.
when they mentioned those guys, like I was like the first one standing up, and I'm like, dude, they're World War II veterans, like 12 alive. So I can stand up. It's like go do it. But that's something to do on Veterans Day, or when you're just watching the game. That's a lot of fun. Buddy's back on. Buddy, I can introduce TJ for you if you'd like. Nope. See,
You should. Yeah, no.
Before, I did go to a friend's.
No, the aliens are talking through him.
the aliens are talking to him. We're gonna mute him. We're gonna put him off. There you go. He's
Love you,
been
buddy.
canceled.
Love you.
Been canceled. No, I have.
He's going to be in Acapulco here in a minute.
Yeah, I have the distinct privilege and honor to introduce Command Sergeant Major retired, now trophy husband, right? Warrior poet Dependa, right? A man who comes to us from a recommendation from VTT Senate 7 and his counterpart over at Fort Sill. And like I said in the script, I don't know what causes a man to decide to write poetry in the 21st century. Maybe it's the shortcomings that your brother outranks you, and maybe you fell off the wrong branch. He stayed on the right branch, went to college, got commissioned. You were like, I'm just going to knuckle drag it through life while my brother does bigger and better things. So I don't know if that's why you turned to poetry, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm sure you'll let us know. But TJ, welcome to the dumpster fire that is Veteran Trash Talk. Tell us what you got going on, and let me know when you want me to put that photo up of that award-winning poem.
The award-winning poem. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so just to clear everything up, the only reason my brother joined the Army is because he was 4 hours away from me when I was in the 82nd. I'd go visit him all the time. And then once he graduated college, like, man, I just joined the Army. So that's what he did, enlisted in the officer. So I'm going to clear that up. I recruited that dude in the Army.
So you are responsible.
And I've been writing all my life. So that's the big one. So even when I was a kid, I got published in our school yearbook and everything else. And I actually did write odes and poems and short stories and stuff like that. But, you join the Army, get the 82nd, and I went through a specialized program, was in a specialized unit for a while, and then continued on the rest of my career. You're just larger than life, 6'4", big guy. You don't expect me to be able to, to write poetry at this end. So I was like, let me not let anybody know that. Let me just quietly do that off to the side on my own. And really, I think this batch with Warrior Dad, which is a book that's coming out in Memorial Day, 2026. Yeah, that started just after this idea about writing a children's book called The Adventures of Cool Bear, based off this Beanie Baby bear my daughter got me on my last deployment. He went everywhere with me. I was a brigade sergeant major, so I went everywhere. He took I took a bunch of photos with him. I started writing haikus and everything else while I was overseas. And then when I got home, going through, and I heard just talking about earlier about take the time to get help, get seen, everything else. I was going through my own process because it was a years-long process. So it would be kind of neat if I took Cool Bear, inserted him into my memories of my past as if he's watching me and my buddies do all these things. So I started writing haikus about all that based on my memories. And I thought, well, that'd be kind of neat to maybe write one for adults, for Warrior Dad, because I am a Warrior Dad. That's why that's the title of the book. I have a daughter. She's almost 20 and in college, in a junior year of college. And because I've gone so much, and I'm divorced, so she lived with her mom. And then for the last couple of years in high school, she lived with me. Single father, geographically separated because my wife and I are both in the military. She's also a sergeant major, still in. So jobs keep us apart. And I traveled a lot. So I'm still trying to reconnect with my daughter and show her what I did in my past, because she really doesn't know, because you hide all that stuff. And I just want her to know, like, hey, this is what I did. I did all these things for you. I did all these things for these other people. And I just want to show folks, like, hey, one, going through a bunch of crucibles in my life, a lot of shared experience, I'm sure, like between all of us on this call and anybody listening. If anybody shared a story, you're like, oh, I had a similar story to that. So I want to be able to show that through writing and then through imagery that I'm going through with Warrior Dad. And then for Adventures of Cool Bear, I've got an illustrator who's working with me. He's phenomenal. He's expensive, but he's amazing. So that'll come out later on next year as well. We don't have a set date for that, but like I said, Warrior Dad will come out Memorial Day of 2026. And I showed some of the images to TBI gets you every time. So to Nick. And so the cover of the book is pretty cool. So, okay, well, we go back to this one here. So he's got the my award-winning poetry up there. So I talked about before is going through this big journey in my life. My daughter in 2012, when she was tender age of 6, came up to me and said, "Hey, Dad, you're too angry." And that's in there right there. And then my wife's words are right after that. "I want you to be happy. We can't live like this because of all the angst, anger, and everything else like that." And then that's why I titled it Armored and Breaking. We all armor ourselves up. We think, okay, we're big, tough people, men and women, doesn't really matter. And eventually that armor starts to break, and it breaks you down as an individual, and it really starts breaking others around you, especially when it comes to your immediate family, like for me and my daughter and my wife. And then from there, I went through, and so that's the first part of it. And then I've got another one that says the ode to the journey when I went down to PrEP, which is the post-deployment rehabilitation evaluation program down in Tampa. And I was there a total of 10 weeks, 3 weeks for the assessment. I came back, had to retire for 7 weeks. And so there's a huge journey down there, a lot of different therapies you go through. It's actually pretty cool. One of them is art therapy, where I wrote this on just because I wanted to be there, because I was there. And then my art therapist said, "Hey, there's a writing contest or an arts contest for the VA. Do you want to submit that writing?" I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be awesome." She's like, "You can't do the imagery that goes with it. It's just the writing." I said, "Okay, that's fine." And I just got notified, I think a few weeks ago, that it won down in Tampa. And now that specific,
Congrats.
that 3-part ode is up at the national level right now. And I'll find out, I think late January, early February. I just got notified that they'll announce the winners, and whoever wins, on the category will go down to Columbia, South Carolina, I think in June, when they actually have the VA Arts Festival. So I'm hoping that wins. I mean, obviously, because it's a competition. I love to compete. It's the big winning. The old winning matters. No shit. It is a deal, right? You got to compete to get better. So that's why I wrote that specific ode, and that'll be on my website too. Once I publish my website, I'm going through the design of it right now. So whenever, and I'll let y'all know, WarriorDadStories.com.
Absolutely,
It's going to be my site, and then you'll see the book that's coming out, Warrior Dad. And Nick, I don't know if you can pop the image up. So I created this dude. I don't do AI imagery because I love to write, and I can see, for me, I see the world in words. A lot of people see it in pictures and colors and everything else like that. But I can go by like, oh, this would be kind of cool for a haiku. Like, let me take this picture and write about this. So then I made this. I write visual descriptions for the system I use, and after a while, he came up, and then I was going to have, initially I was listing all of my teammates, my friends that have passed along the way, but it got to the point you couldn't even read it anymore because there was just so many to put on that chest plate. And I said, it'd be kind of cool. Is maybe I'll just put, "I will remember always." And so it's actually, he is the part of the ode. This is the ode to the weight he bears. And you see in the background, it's got the shadows of his teammates and all the folks he's lost along the way. And then as I continue looking, I'm like, man, that's a badass looking dude right there. I'm going to put him on the front cover of Warrior Dad. So he'll be on the front cover, and then he'll be on my ode to the weight he bears. And so that's kind of like the book itself, and it has close to 30 different odes along with an image that goes with it. And then one of them is about a buddy of mine who saved my life. I'm on 22 years of borrowed time. So he gets a very long ode that I broke up into 3 parts. And so that's in there. And then once the website comes up, you can subscribe and everything else, get on the wait list. The pre-orders will start in December. You'll get a companion guide. So when you pre-order, you'll get emailed a PDF companion guide. It looks really good. And it shows like the lost haikus, the ones that kind of started the entire thing for Warrior Dad. And then I talk about the different odes themselves, like why I wrote them. I won't I won't list all those, but I'll just talk about the titles, why I wrote this, that, and then it just has other things that are in there, some pretty good captions and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it coming out. And again, at Memorial Day weekend, Warrior Dad, and then I'll let the world know once my website comes up, warriordadstories.com. Once it gets published, should be next week. It was delayed really because of me, because I've been traveling. I was out west for about 30 days, kind of doing that. Not the walk across Australia, but the walk across, the drive across the United States to see my kiddo, and then go do some hunting with my cousin, who I've been not blown off, but delaying for 4 years because of work. So he got me in this hunting trip, so it was good.
No, that's awesome. And like I said, we'll definitely help with the promotion of that. And when it comes out, we can have you back on as a guest host, and like, oh, by the way, my book's out, and bring you on that way. No, we love having authors on here, and we just had the guys who made the movie Sheepdog that's coming out next month, and they said something kind of similar where they had a lot of veterans who were at the pre-screening say, this is something I want to bring my family to, because then I don't have to necessarily, like, they can watch this and be like this is kind of like what I go through. This is who I am. Talk about that a little bit. About when did you decide that, like, this is kind of the avenue I wanted to take, to where maybe I can explain myself to those who I didn't really open up to?
Yeah, I want to say it was sometime last year, actually. So when I started in my retirement phase, what do I want to do when I grow up? I know I just wanted to be retired. I want to do a 9-to-5 job. I love writing. I've been writing really Warrior Dad and The Adventures of Cool Bear for the last 7 to 8 years, just slowly chipping away and again, reviewing all the pictures. And then when my daughter went to college, I was thinking about her and thinking, well, she really doesn't know what I did. And how do I explain it to her? Do I do it over a cup of coffee? That'll take forever a day. I'll be rambling, which I tend to do. But then how do I do it writing? Because it's really concise. And then can I do it with, kind of put images on top of that so you can actually see it, like what is in my head? Can I show the world what it is? And then when I came out of position in January of this year, I started in my last 6 months in the Army. I really started going, this would be kind of cool to do. And my brother and I want to write another project. We're going to do that later. And but that's let me just take this in a different direction. How do I do it illustrative? Because there are so many folks that come on, which is great, and they write about their experiences, but a lot of it's on leadership, a lot of it's on X, Y, and Z, but I don't really see too many veterans, or at least I don't hear from them. There might be. And for all those out there, if you're out there, please get connected with me for children's books, and then for just illustrated poems, because it's always just a straight up, book. And I wanted to do something different. I wanted to show the world something different. And that's how I like to write. And then I think it really hammered down when I was here. I was at a spouses conference. I was the only male there. Nice. Yeah, it's great. And I was called gorgeous. It was fantastic. Hey, everybody, they all look gorgeous. I'm like, I'm gonna let my wife know I was gorgeous today.
Yeah, I was called gorgeous today. No big deal. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Pretty good. And then
out of all the
we got Buddy.
Right.
Go ahead, Dave.
Mostly, out of all the authors we've had on, it's mostly stories. But Nick, who was the guy that did poems? We had one on, or two.
No, we had Jason Morrison, who did he just did a lot of short stories, and Jason Lee Morrison, freaking awesome Marine Raider. I don't know, he was Recon. He was Marine Recon.
Marine Recon, yeah.
Yeah, and he did a lot of short story poems that just somehow were able to come together, and the book's called A Perfect Fucking Life. Yeah, so
there was somebody else who did it too, but regardless.
Who did poems?
There was a comic book guy.
The comic book guy, that was the guy who lives in Italy, right?
I'm gonna have to look those up. I'm gonna look those up and get those.
I would say that I would bet that the reason most guys stay away from children's books is that Dr. Seuss would get real wild if one of us was just straight up like writing some Cat in the Hat shit about Afghanistan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it was fun writing with Cool Bear. So he was actually the inspiration for all of it. Obviously, my daughter was the inspiration for all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was at the spouses conference, so this is what's cool about being a retired, tired guy, but still now I'm a dependent, right? I'm a dependopotamus for my wife. So cheerlead for her and everything else was going on. She's quite amazing. So I'm sitting there and I listen to all these stuff. Like, oh yeah, when our husbands come home, it's this, it's that, and blah 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 blah. And they talk about the challenges they have when their spouses are deployed. Then they come home, try to reintegrate, try to do all these other things. And I heard several times. This isn't the only time when the spouse comes. I've heard this. Oh, they have it easy over there. They just work out. They do their job, eat, sleep, and do their business. And so we came around. I said, hey, do you mind if I give you my perspective from a guy who's got 9 combat deployments and a bunch of other National Command Authority missions and a bunch of all over the world doing crazy stuff. I said that's false, and let me tell you why. So I told him why, and as I was talking about it, I'm thinking, man, this is why I'm glad I'm writing this book. Because not only is it for me to get to my daughter, because she's going to get the first one off the line. I'm obviously going to sign it for and everything else like that. I say, hey, kiddo, you were the inspiration behind everything. It's not only for children to hear what their parents do, but it's for other people to say, oh, this is what our deployed folks kind of go through. Now, it's not all it may not be all the crazy stuff and everything else. There's a couple things in there that are hard hitting, but it does give you a sense of this is what we do. And then it's not only just like the leaving part, it's why we're there, and then the coming home part at the end. And so the book is in 3 parts. And then the last part of it is about the coming home piece of it. And a lot of that's written specifically to my daughter. And the last ode is specifically to my daughter, thanking her for starting me on my journey to get healthy. Because, I mean, you got to imagine a 6-year-old kid standing in front of her pops, 6'4", 230-pound man, barrel-chested freedom fighter, said, Dad, you're too scary. I don't want to be here anymore. This is like, the summer she's out there with me. And, you see it in the movies, right, where people just fall on their knees, they break down crying, everything else like that. I'm like, guy, that's all BS. That never happens. Yeah, it did. Like right there, instantaneously. I was like, it just broke me right there. And then it set me on a path. It was years in the making, and finally to get to prep, which was last year, and all the iterations on the way just to get me to where I am today. So she has been my inspiration for all these things because she set me on a path and lit that path for me every step of the way. It's been freaking amazing. So
I love that.
When she watches this,
love,
I love you very
emotion,
much.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good motivator.
Hey, we got Buddy in a location, and he's probably had some things he's wanted to say today. I'm not sure. Like, are you good, Buddy? You make it?
Yeah, I had to stop. There was some free donuts for veterans, and so I had to grab some, tell a couple stories. No, I was on my way back from golf, guys. It's my son's birthday, and his birthday is on Monday, but we went
celebrating today
at the Hermitage. But I think it's pretty interesting. There's actually a skit you can look up on YouTube or whatever that is directly about you, TJ. It's a bunch of security guys at the gate, and then this male dependent comes on, and they're like, "Hey, get over here! He's a male dependent."
The guy, he's got like the golden teeth and shit.
Yeah. He looks like
it's from Vet TV.
I think. They're
like,
what do you do all day? And he's like, none. I'm just a dependent, dude. They're like, you don't do anything. Like you're just a dependent. And he's like, yeah, dog, just a dependent.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I just work out.
Yeah,
I look good.
Yeah,
I want to get some groceries.
Are you in charge of the FRG now? I know usually that's a officer.
He's about to be.
But
yeah,
do you run the FRG
yeah, that's a great question. I'll find out when I get out there.
Yeah, how's that gonna work when you think you're gonna run the FRG and then it's like, nah, boss, it's the general's wife.
Yeah, spouse, because that's usually how it is, right? Yeah.
I think we'll do.
You're in charge of the bakery
instead of coffee days.
Yeah. To be honest, how much better would that be? For because like you just said,
100%.
They think that all you do is work out and go to salsa night and
that's what you did. That's what you did at Spiker.
We were in Samara.
That's what you did at Spiker.
When we were in Samara
on purpose. Anyway, but
you didn't even walk there. You took a bus there.
Yeah, you took a bus there. You didn't walk to the gym. You went on the yellow line. You were on the yellow line.
My God,
did they hand you a towel and shit? Like
I
is this shit?
was a staff sergeant. I had 2 team leaders and a bunch of privates to carry me wherever I needed to go. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had one of those, like, they put me on their shoulders and they would just trudge
Was
along.
a planquin, whatever they call it.
Yeah,
Planquin,
I'd hit them.
whatever. Yeah.
I'd hit them if they went too fast or too slow.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
too many bumps. I didn't like it. Yeah.
Wasn't that a Buddy line the other day, Nick? I think we were too busy fighting a war, right? Wasn't Buddy saying that the other day?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Buddy,
All of
buddy,
them.
You're
I wanted to make
enjoying
sure.
salsa night while we're fucking slaughtering terrorists, man.
Hey,
Like it's all
yeah.
People fight different ways. You know what I mean? Like it's like Veterans Day. Experiences may vary. You know what I mean?
I wanted to make sure Buddy got on the show because I was worried about him because he bro vetted out on us a few times last week. You notice that? Like pretty serious bro vetting going on. So I'm like, are you okay? Is there anything
Most
you want
of
to
what I
talk about?
said was tongue in cheek, if you will. But
I'm
whatever.
sure it was.
But
Sure it was,
anyway,
but-
I mean, it would be cool for the FRG to have a that's what they're telling you they're doing because they don't want to scare you for no for no reason.
Yeah.
Like
Here's the real deal, though.
yeah, if they were going to
so-
tell you the real stuff, you would just be sitting here freaked out that they're not going to come home because there's a chance they might not. And
Why hasn't he called me in days? Comms might be out. Well, why are comms out?
yeah,
You know,
somebody's not. They got to wait for a little bit, you know.
And then the big one too is like you talk about is like I was telling him, I said, hey, you know, there are times like you're getting ready to go on a mission, and you see a guy's eyes, he's not there, he's not ready. Like we've pulled folks off before because their wife was in labor and getting ready to have a kid. Someone's birthday, there was a funeral they're missing, all these different things because of, especially earlier in the war when things were really more hot and heavy. Later on in Afghanistan, Iraq, especially in Afghanistan, like 2016, 17, 18 timeframe, wasn't as hot and heavy. We were able to a little bit bring some folks back if we could. But in the very beginning, I know, and I told the other spouse that I said, hey, you know, there were times we actually pulled folks off of missions because they were so thinking about home, and because this massive life event is going on, we've actually had guys come and say, hey, there's no way I can do this. Like this is happening at home, and they like, hey, I'm split between this massive life event at home and then going into this very dangerous situation. And I don't want to be that person who's going to get someone else killed because I'm not fully engaged in the process. And I thought, man, and I remember hearing some guys say, like, dude, I don't know if I'd have made that commitment. I was a young guy.
Quick on that. Yeah, we deployed in 06 and my son was born 3 weeks later. And then, you know, fast forward 2008, 2009, when we deployed, like they kept people back. I mean, they kept Danny back for 3-4 months. It was a different time. So everybody was going through some serious, 3 weeks. My wife was like highly pregnant, like ready to pop. And they're like, no, you need to go. You're a squad leader. Like they need you over there, blah, blah, blah. We can't, if we do it to you, we're going to have to keep everybody else back as well. You know, and I got it. It's a mission. And my wife was cool about it, but yeah.
No, and that's
the funny thing is on one side, that's probably the healthiest thing is that if they can admit that they're split because they have something going on back, the biggest part of us just shut everything off in the States and didn't do a very good job of reaching back or paying attention to it because it detracted from the mission. And then I found that the more I deployed, the harder it was to flip that switch back to giving a shit of what was going on back in the States. And the harder it was to figure out that like I listened to a Joe Rogan podcast the other day with a comedian, but he was talking about like people talk about how hard things are at work. And there were a bunch of comedians and they were like, oh, you got to do another show. Like, man, do you really want to work that much on a weekend? And he's like, it's not work. Like I used to do construction and that was hard. This is just easy. And it's kind of the same thing. Like our standard of what bad is so high that when other people are for them are at the same level, it's so much lower than what our level of that it's hard for us to show empathy. Understanding. Empathy and understanding for the situation.
Your favorite word.
Like, dude, you've got both legs, bro. What are you talking about? Like you're not even even being a parent. Like, you know, my son will like get hurt and I'm like, my man, like
that one's rough.
You're not hurt. Like, come on. You're not even believing that.
The fuck up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, you know, coming back home and talking about that flipping that switch after a while, sometimes you it doesn't even flip all the way over. And I got divorced because my ex-wife's a really good person. We just grew apart, and maybe it was because of me, because I was just so distant, and we were, it was not just deployment. It was, you come home, then I'm on a 1 hour recall, and then I'm going TDY, then I'm going to this training event, that training event, I go deployed. And so my life was so focused on work and everything else like that, and when I got home and I did have some downtime, it never switched any of it off. And then
I don't think it really counts, to be honest with you, because especially when you're doing, when I first got the 5th group, we were doing 6 months on, 6 months off, or 6 months on, 6 months off. But even in that 6 months off, it was 2 weeks. There was 2 weeks of block leave, and then there was individual and team training, and then maybe another little bit of leave before you deployed again, before like a PMT or whatever. But even when you were on your first block leave, part of you was still thinking of what you could have done to do your RIP better, or what you could have done better on your last deployment to make it better, and or to have done a mission better. And then it's, well, I've got to get this training coordinated. I got to do this range. I've got to get these guys set up for this. And you're still not home even in that 2 weeks. And then you start doing your training and you're gone, out of that 6 months. It's nothing to be gone 3 or 4 of that. And then you get back on, get ready to deploy, and you got your leave, and you'd love to be present and be there and enjoy time with your family. But all you're thinking about is whether you got everything right for your loadout, whether you got like the trans is going to be on time, whether your aircraft are going to be there, like who you're ripping with, what if anything's changed in the week that
your head's not even present anymore at that point.
Yeah. That's why I wrote this book.
It's just not possible to be present. And like I said, people look at what we do. Even when we were in the 82nd and you were doing year on, year off, year on, like, okay, but in that year that you're quote unquote off, you're still JRTC, you're still doing, you're
in the
still
field for weeks at a time.
For the weeks at a time, you're still going to Ranger school, you're still doing all this other stuff, and your mind's never at home. It's always on. We know that we have another one and we need to be ready for it. What can I be doing to make sure that myself and my guys are ready for this?
I was going to say, especially once you're in a leadership position, you don't have to worry about yourself. Now you're worrying about a team, a squad, a platoon. It just gets progressively like more responsibility, obviously.
I was in the same boat as TJ. Like, my wife and I, or my ex-wife and I, got divorced because it was that we grew apart. And then it got to a point where, especially probably for the last 3 or 4 years, even when I was home, I didn't feel like, I felt like I was acting, like playing a role, like doing what other people would do if they were a father and a husband. But I wasn't. I was just trying to make sure that, like, I was just doing what that way I could just keep the facade up. But for the most part, like, I'd go out and sit on my back, like I had a little outbuilding or whatever. I'd go out there and just be looking at the house and feeling like I was a guest at someone else's house,
an outsider.
I just had to keep up appearances and until I could get back to where I was really, where I felt at home, which was deployed.
Yeah. So
go ahead, TJ.
With Joanne right now, some years ago, in fact, in 2018 January or February, I came home for my 2 weeks, and then we were in Costa Rica doing this, and then I felt that we were drifting apart again, mainly because of me. And I got home and we sat down and said, "Hey, what are we going to do?" And we committed. I made a commitment to her. I said, "Hey, I love you very much. I need to get." She's like, "Okay, well, we as a couple need to figure this out together." And then so we recommitted not only to our marriage but to ourselves, me to get more healthy and just on the mental state because of all the things that we've all gone through. And then she helped me get on the track. She kept encouraging me. She didn't push me. She really, like, from the encouraging side, not like encouragement, but really encouraged me to, hey, make sure we do this. And it was always it was always us going together. And now we are each other's greatest cheerleaders, right? So I do a lot of long distance races for my bike, 50 to 100-mile races. So when she is available, she'll go out and she'll be there, hit the different points. And then when she was at her JFK 50 last year, I was at the different points as well, cheering her on. So, and that's just from my sporting event, but just in our life events in general, we are always there for each other. Like, hey, this is great. We're doing this, we're doing that. And I'm learning as well, especially now that I'm a trophy husband, is when it comes to venting, this is for all the guys out there, for the husbands, boyfriends, everything else like that. My wife she'll start venting, and I say, we've got this kind of code going. I said, okay, I'll ask her right away. Hey, do you need TJ Baird, the sergeant major, or do you need TJ Baird, the husband? And she's like, I see my husband right now. And so when it switches on to that, I'm in receive mode, and then I'll, just in complete receive mode. And then if she's like, hey, I need TJ Baird, the sergeant major, then I'm trying to help solve a problem that she's got or whatever it is. And so I've learned to ask that in the beginning. And if I forget to ask that in the beginning, and she wants the husband, and I start playing the sergeant major, or the retired sergeant major, whatever, it doesn't go well for this guy.
Yeah, so you're about to find out. Yeah. So. But so again, I look forward to the book coming out.
For sure.
You said you're going to release it Memorial Day. And then those of you watching out there, if you've watched us before, you've seen this, you've seen the show like this, and everybody has their own individual story. And what I talk about, in fact, when I was explaining this to TJ, what Veteran Trash Talk was, is that, we're not the experts, all right? TJ's not the expert, but he's an expert in his experiences. His experiences might mirror yours, might have similarities to yours. The more you open your network, the more that you expand, all right? The more wisdom you get from other people, right? And so, again, anybody who's got a veteran-owned business, podcast, book, whatever you're doing, you might not don't have the imposter syndrome that you're doing great things, okay? Share it with people. It might just reach somebody. It might just get to that one person who needed to hear that one message. And for instance, TJ said, correct me if I'm wrong, you're writing this more for your daughter, right? And how that was the inspiration. However, I guarantee you there's a bunch of people who, when they read it, go, hey, read this book. Hey, read this. Right. So, I'm really excited to check it out. And again, kind of goes back to the Book of Earl of get out there. All right. Find out, share your story, right? Talk to people, and then grow. So as they say in the sheepdog, PTG, post-traumatic growth, not post-traumatic stress. So get after it. But anybody got anything else for the Baird man?
No, one last thing though. So I had a small group of folks that helped me with this, with this ode match the image and everything. And so my buddy's sister, who has no affiliation with the military, does it. So she was going over it, and she was reading it, and she was in some parts, tears are coming out of her eyes, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this would be great for anybody." So it's not just for our military folks, our veterans, or anything. She's like, you could see this life experience across any walk of life. So it's again, I like what you said, brother. I'll write about my experiences. I've read other people's experiences and realized, oh my gosh, I had a similar experience. And the way they handled it is fantastic. Maybe on the next go around, if something happens to me like that again, I have another tool in my toolbox to help solve that problem, or at least get through that, whatever that experience is, good, bad, or indifferent. I just thought it was really cool to just listen to other people and their stories, because it's really neat and to learn. And you never know, you get a shared connection, make a lifelong friend. Hell yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, buddy, you got anything? Uh-oh.
I got to figure out how to work my computer again.
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything. Do you want me to do the AAR, even though I was
Let's do it.
on the show?
Can you do the AAR? You got enough? You got enough?
Let me see if I can get it. Conspiracy theory. Don't first of all, don't fly a Mexican airplane your first solo into a cloud in IFR conditions when you don't have that rating. Also, don't pull up and get hypoxic, start jibber jabbering on the radio, jump into a Gulf Stream and go way faster than your plane's supposed to go. Pop out in Loco.
Ooh, there it is. That is a thing. That is a thing. That's why flights to Germany are a lot shorter than flights from Germany to here. Yeah.
Forget to turn your transponder on so that so nobody's really tracking you until you get back to Acapulco or wherever over some water. Not a huge deal. But that's all bad. Don't do that. It's
Okay,
not that
real quick, I
great.
retract. It did not happen. I was like, this happened. I'm going to go to 0,
Oh, I'll
none.
bet it happened, but there's a logical scientific
Situation
explanation
occurred,
for
but
why it
what they
happened.
claimed happened did not happen
Oh,
in regards to aliens. and
probably
stuff.
not aliens.
Yeah,
I'm guessing that the aliens did not just warp into Earth's atmosphere, and they're like, "There's a Cessna with a young
Let's snatch this
child,
dude up.
with a young."
He's going to be the
Mexican boy."
voice. He's going to be the voice of
Let
the
me-
world.
You know what? That's our mouthpiece right there. Hey, Wang Yawahan, let's grab him. Throw him. Who speaks English here? Channel this guy real quick. We'll throw him on the radio. Have him
Spanish.
tell the world in Spanish that that your nukes are bad. It just seems like that part's probably far fetched. Anywho, then the Book of Earl. Get out there, enjoy veterans free stuff on Veterans Day. My part, don't just go out and enjoy it. Be present, talk to other people about their stories, but don't turn it
Don't
into
ask Buddy anything.
don't
Don't ask
turn it
Buddy
into a
anything.
wiener measuring contest. Just say hi to guys. It's fine. Anywho, and then so I did not get the name of the book. By the way,
Warrior Dad.
That part of
Warrior Dad.
Warrior Dad. TJ Baird, ex Sergeant Major, current trophy wife for a Sergeant Major. One of the big ones. Anyway,
Trophy husband.
trophy husband. You know what? I am never going to assume your gender, my guy. Like that's just not what I do. I'm woke. I'm woke out here. Anyway, so trophy husband wrote a book called Warrior Dad. It's a bunch of poems and illustrations. So coming out on the Memorial Day of 2026. So check it out. Get on his website and pre-order it. And that's pretty much it. That's all. That was it. I think that was it. I think I got everything. Bits and pieces.
Pretty good. Pretty good,
guys. More than you could hear me. I promise. Yeah. I was in receive mode.
There you go.
Love it.
TJ, last
well
words,
played.
brother.
Well played. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, last word, TJ.
Hey, thanks for letting me on the show. And then for anybody, like I say, get on warriordadstories.com. Once the site gets published, it should be next week. And then just let me know who you are, subscribe. The book comes out Memorial Day weekend. And then for all the folks going through their journey in life, from Armored and Breaking to the Journey, and then part 3 for my award-winning poem is Reforged. And I do like the part about post-traumatic growth, because that's what I talk about, being reforged. At the end of the day, I started a process where I was really hurting, and I got through this entire very long process, and I reforged, and I'm starting my life, and I'm growing my life again, and I'm really very happy that I started, and on the back end, I'm a much better person. So get help when you need it. That's the biggest thing I can tell folks. Get help when you need it, because you'll realize on the back end you'll be a much better person and reforged in your life. So thanks a lot for getting me on here. I really do appreciate it, fellas. And thanks for the golf game. That was a lot of fun. I had a blast. Even with my awesome
no
trick
worries.
shot.
And like I said, those of you who golf, he did something that I don't think was intentional. It might have been aliens. He hit a very high lofted club, which is usually supposed to be pretty accurate, right? He hit it very high and straight sideways. That's difficult to do. I mean, even if you try to do it on
hit my
purpose.
car today.
Yeah. Exactly. Like this does.
Yeah, it was my trick shot.
It can happen. It can happen. Like somebody can hit the ball that bad, like that bad, that good,
Yes, they can.
that bad. So, all right, Dave, close this out.
Brother, thanks for coming on. I can't wait to read it. And then I think, like Nick mentioned earlier, as we get close to the release date, which is obviously not till next year, have you back on and promote it again. For anybody that tuned in late, go to VeteranTrashTalk.com. That is our website where you can find the links to everything that we do. All right. If you're on YouTube right now, go over there, give us a subscribe and a like. If you're here on Facebook, like it. You can rewatch this later on YouTube, Facebook, re-listen on Spotify, amongst other
Maybe if Chris
platforms.
does his job.
Yeah, if Chris loads it up. And then go to shop.veterantrashtalk.com. That has all of our awesome merch. Today I'm wearing Airborne. I Arrive Violently. Nick is wearing one of my favorite hoodies, Only Infantry. He has an OnlyFans as well for his feet. So DM me and I'll give you the
I'm wearing a
information on
polo
that.
shirt.
And we'll catch you guys next weekend. Faceman VTT out. Boom.